South Asia is home to one of the largest Shia populations on earth, but Shia Islam was born in 7th century Arabia, thousands of miles away. That journey from Karbala to the subcontinent begins with one death that split a faith in two. When the Prophet Muhammad passed away in 632 CE, his closest companions gathered at a place called Saqifa to choose a successor. They selected Abu Bakr as the first caliph, a political community leader. But the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, Ali ibn Abi Talib, was absent, occupied with washing the Prophet's body for burial. Ali's supporters believed the Prophet had already chosen him at a pond called Qadir Qum, declaring Ali as the spiritual master or Mawla of the community. This belief formed the imamate, the conviction that leadership must be a divinely guided spiritual role inherited only through the Prophet's family. As generations passed, disagreements over which descendant of Ali should lead divided the movement into three main paths. The Zaydis followed leaders who actively fought against unjust rulers. The Ismailis tracked a line of spiritual guides through a leader named Ismail. The largest group, the Twelvers, recognized 12 successive guides. They believed their final leader, the 12th Imam, entered occultation, a state of physical concealment where he remains alive, but hidden from human sight. They believe he will return one day to restore justice. Soon, these dividing lines of faith would ride the winds of commerce far from their Arabian birthplace. In the late 9th century, Ismaili believers looked to the sea to expand their reach. Ships sailing from Egypt and Yemen rode the seasonal monsoon winds across the Arabian Sea, carrying not just spices and textiles, but also a new religious message. Traveling along these maritime corridors and overland caravan routes were DAS, missionaries, or callers to faith. Guided by early network leaders like Ibn Hawshab, these envoys established footholds in Sindh, Multan, and Gujarat. Later, scholars like Al-Haytham followed these same paths to the busy ports of the western coast. Unlike military campaigns, this expansion relied on the gradual building of trust. Ismaili merchants settled in coastal towns, winning people over through trade honesty, exchange, and long-term residency. To share their message, the missionaries adopted three main practices. They taught in local languages, respected local customs, and used local symbolism to make their ideas feel familiar. By wrapping their faith in the daily life of these ports, they made sure their message took lasting root. In 680 CE, a defining event in Iraq shaped the moral identity of Shia Muslims across the world. The Prophet's grandson, Imam Hussein, refused to pledge allegiance to the Umayyad Caliph, Yazid I, resisting a ruler he saw as corrupt. At a desert plain called Karbala, an army of thousands surrounded and killed Hussein and his small band of 72 companions. This sacrifice turned Karbala into a symbol of resistance against tyranny. The tragedy is remembered on Ashura, a solemn day of mourning. Across South Asia, this historic stand for justice earned the respect of Sunni Muslims and non-Muslim communities alike. In medieval Sindh, this reverence found a natural home within Sufism. Many Sufi orders, which are spiritual paths, trace their lineage back to Ali, viewing him as a source of mystical knowledge. Local dargahs, or shrines, and spiritual houses, known as khanqahs, became shared devotional spaces where ordinary people gathered. Here, Shia and Sufi practices overlapped quietly without becoming identical. This peaceful overlap helped Islam spread naturally among everyday people, creating a familiar spiritual language. This quiet connection paved the way for distinct traditions that would soon shape the region's history, raising new questions about how these groups would organize. In Gujarat, these organized paths took shape through trade rather than military power. The Bohras emerged as a highly successful merchant community, establishing networks that linked Indian ports with global markets. Nearby, the Khojas developed from the local Lohana community, guided by teachers like Pir Sadardin and Pir Shams. They expressed their faith through ginans, devotional poems that blended Islamic teachings with local Gujarati and Sindhi languages. Today, the Nizari branch of this community looks to the Aga Khan as their living spiritual guide. Over time, these commercial families extended their networks across the ocean to Zanzibar, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, creating a widespread diaspora, a community living outside its original homeland. In the great inland capitals of South Asia, political power directly shaped how Shia Muslims lived. The Delhi Sultanate was a Sunni-dominated state, yet it tolerated Shia scholars and merchants. Over time, these communities grew stronger through patronage, the political and financial support of rulers. Under the Mughal Empire, especially during the reign of Emperor Akbar, this royal support allowed Shia scholarship to thrive. Later, in the kingdoms of Hyderabad and Awadh, this backing gave Shia communities a stronger public standing. Hyderabad hosted vibrant Shia populations, while the Shia-ruled kingdom of Awadh turned its capital, Lucknow, into a major South Asian center for learning and public ritual. For centuries across medieval India, Sunnis and Shias lived side by side in everyday life. But 18th century and 19th century political shifts began to pull these communities apart. When British colonial rulers introduced official census categories, they altered local balances, making sectarian divisions, meaning divisions along religious identity, far more visible. Amid these changing tides, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who came from a Shia Khoja family, helped found a new nation. After partition, Shias, active in both Indian and Pakistani public life, ensured that relations continued to evolve, writing a new chapter in this centuries-old story. Today, South Asia's living traditions prove that Karbala's legacy is not just history, it remains deeply woven into the subcontinent's daily culture and future. Share your thoughts below.